Hey fellow hobbyists, this is part 2 in our video series on holiday light shows for first timers, and it assumes you've already installed xLights and laid out your display elements. If you haven't done that yet, take a quick look at part 1 in the series to get started. The first step to figuring out how many LEDs we need is to measure the parts of our house where we plan on placing LEDs. So let's open xLights and print out our layout. xLights will open to the Controllers tab, but for now we're focused on layout, so let's go to the Layout tab, which will show our house as well as the overlay of all the displays that we previously defined. We're going to print this off and use it as our guide to what we need to measure. Luckily for us, xLights understands that would be a very useful capability and have built that in. You can right-click in your preview area here and select to save or print the layout image. Something that will make it easier to mark up is if you come over here in this pane to the left and change the brightness. Change it all the way to 100 in my case. Once I've done that, I can go ahead and right-click and do save or print. I recommend saving it rather than printing it. Every time I've tried to print it, the image has come out very, very small. Now that I've saved the file, I can print this off. Once that completes printing, now we can go measure our house. As you can see to the right here, I've completed marking up the linear dimensions of my house so I can use those to calculate the number of LEDs I'll have. The rule we want to follow here is that every 2 inches equals 1 LED. So I'm going to take all of my linear dimensions here, assign a description and a label ID to their lengths and locations, and then use the formula of basically dividing the number of inches of length by 2 to give me the number of LEDs represented in that strand. Starting a sheet like this is really helpful since you'll use it to label your strands later on in your build process. Now I can take a look at some of my other display elements that are non-linear. That's the Minitrees, arches, megatree, snowflakes. When you're adding these to get your total LED count, there's not a specific formula for it because it depends on what you buy. For the Minitrees, the ones I use are actually these pixel node trees from Holiday Coro. These are really great little trees, and you can buy them in different sizes, and different sizes take different numbers of pixels. See right here? So depending on which one you want, it's going to tell you what the maximum number of pixels are that display can hold. Now that we've calculated how many LEDs we need for each of the lighting elements, we want to go back into xLights and enter that. The columns we care about from our spreadsheet are going to be the strand description and LED count. xLights uses the term nodes for LED or pixel. Everything we're going to enter here will be of 1 string or strand, and then we will change this nodes per string number to be what is in our spreadsheet. In this case, I have selected the string above the garage door, so I'm going to enter that value from garage door top, which is 97 for nodes per string. Change that to 97, and then I also want to change the descriptive name. That'll help us later when we're sequencing our show. And I want to make sure and hit this save button periodically so that I don't lose my work if something happens, xLights crashes. And all that's left now is to do that to the remaining strands. With all of our strand LED values and names entered, we can go ahead and save our show in xLights, our layout, by hitting that button at the bottom of the left pane. And this is what we will use going forward to begin to assign things to controllers and sequence our show. Thanks for watching. I hope you found this helpful. Please keep an eye out for our series where we'll begin talking a little bit about the types of hardware that you will need for your light show, the selection of LEDs, your pixel controllers, and a little bit about mounting.